with music. He loves doing those, and we're a musician out there. Interest in that. That's what you can ask John. So we're just kind of trying to test out audio. I have a Bluetooth headset that's working into one of my phones for the camera and the audio, so hopefully that works. And maybe the music is not a good thing because it kind of doesn't go well with live streaming. To have too many things going on, right? So we might get rid of the music for some of it, or totally. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of warm-ups with flags and with music, because of course music is what makes us inspired. It lifts our hearts up, and it helps us to get out of the doldrums and into worshiping God, and He inhabits the presence of His children when we do worship. And so that's what gives us the peace and the joy when we do. And the flags, we'll talk more about the flags, but they just lift our spirits with the beautiful fabric. These are a pair of my plain white ones. They've not been painted yet. I do hand paint them. So I'm going to change flags. See? Okay, so these are different type of flag. It's my twirling rod flag. They're actually like flag batons. This is what our flag company, the youth and the women too, learn how to do. And they're awesome because they make for a real powerful flag corps presentation. And they're very fast moving. There are a total of like 42 different movements and tricks that you can do, and they all have interpretive movement and names. So we can talk about that a little bit more. And so I'm just going to check whether John says it's actually sounding good or not. Yeah, you can tell us too how it sounds up there. I know it's kind of hard for us because we're doing this live, so then we get feedback. So let me check. Yeah. All right, so maybe text Gord, what time is it now? It's 2:10. So who's on? Who's watching? There we go. I'm on my Facebook, so I can kind of. Yeah, I think it should. Okay, there, I can see your comments here now. Anish, hi. It's better if I can see you, probably. Yeah. Okay. So let's do a few different flag movements. So these are the flag twirling batons, which are my favorite to use because there's so many different movements that we can do with them. Could be because of this. All right, I'll try that again. Yeah. This flag movement is called honor because it includes a little bow to the honor of the crown. So maybe I'll kind of do it as an angle so we have two camera groups here. So this is victory, victory, wing, broad, victory, victory, wing. Yeah, that's because you need to sway. Well, which camera angle is it getting? On which, where are you watching it? All right, are you getting more views now? Yeah, okay. So it's this one that is the main, Okay. So then when we have word comes on, yeah, you can ask them.
Put a message.
Where should we talk? Okay. So maybe we'll do it like this so that it's full. Yeah. This movement is side shield. So is Jacqueline on yet? If Jacqueline has any questions, the lady from New Brunswick.
In our hearts, in this nation, awakening, Holy Spirit, we desire, awakening. You alone. My soul, and see for you love, your will be done, that your will be done in me. In your presence, in your power, awakening.
Sure.
This moment, this hour, awakening. You and you alone, awake my soul, awake my soul, to see for you love, your every time, your every in me, you and you alone, awake my soul, awake my soul, to see for you love, your every time, it's your every in me. Like a rising sun,
Yeah, shoot.
Music.
In our hearts, Lord, in the nation, awakening.
23. Well, it doesn't make the best of it.
We can hear you.
Somebody lift your hands as we celebrate the greatness of our God. He's greatly to be praised. The worship song says this, my God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain. Come on, my God is awesome. He heals me when I'm broken. His strength around me. Forever he will reign. Come on, say, my God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain. My God is awesome. He heals me when I'm broken. Strength around me. Forever he'll reign. Come on, if you believe it, lift your voice and say, come on, if you know it, also say, come on and lift your voice. If you believe it, say, come on and say, think about it, saving the whole world. Give her up salvation. By his stripes, I'm healed. My God is awesome. Today I am forgiven. His grace is why I'm living. Somebody ought to praise his holy name. Come on and testify. You know it's awesome. Say, come on and lift your voice and say, come on and say awesome. Come on and say awesome. Come on and believe it, lift your voice. Come on, somebody say, he's mighty, 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 he's awesome. Come on and lift your voice and testify. Come on and say, he's holy, 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 he's holy. Come on and lift your voice and say, come on and say, he's great, 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 awesome. Hallelujah. Come on and say, come on and say, he's mighty, he's mighty, he's mighty, he's mighty, he's mighty, he's mighty, he's awesome. Everybody say, awesome. Come on and say, deliver, 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 deliver. Come on and say, awesome. Come on and lift your voice and you believe it. Say, awesome. Come on and say, he's holy, 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 he's awesome. Well, everybody on the testify. Somebody lift your voice and say, provider, Hallelujah, lift your voice. Somebody let him know, protector. Have you looked back for your protector? Everybody say, he can move mountains. He can hide you from the rain.
Okay. Let's pause this. Maybe you want to come say something.
Shift your dress. Hey, everybody. Hopefully my audio's back on. Had to turn it off for that. Okay. So welcome to our interactive flag workshop. Let me just, I might have to turn off this audio. Here we go. I'll disconnect that audio. Okay. So you only have one audio coming on now, no feedback. All right. So okay. Well, I'm just let me just grab a glass of water. Text Gord, please. I need to like drink. Text him. His phone number. Okay. Oh yeah, I can do it. Okay. So just send me a heads up there, everybody, if you are here this afternoon. It is a beautiful sunny day. And I'm just messaging my co-host here just because I am pouring sweat from just doing a flag dance. It is anyways, fine. I can't really do it without sending it. Hold on, I can copy it, send it to you. Okay, and I will send it to you, John. Here's his number. Just because I just kind of get out of breath from doing all that. And, you know, I can talk and wing it here, but you can see that doing flags is very good for your exercise. And it is a cardio action because you're doing everything above your head. I know I have a little loop here. I was just going to join this back up, but anyways, I guess that's fine. Where'd it go? Where's my loop go? Okay. So when you're getting the blood flow and pumping it into your heart, it's very, very stimulating. Of course, it's healthy. It's a good exercise. And it's something is special about flags. So in my manual, I talk about this. And when I discovered that it wasn't just me that really loved them and found that they moved my spirit, and they made me cry sometimes, made me very feel good. It was just amazing how I felt when I saw the very first time people do flags. And that was like in 1991, actually. So there is meaning behind the flags. And a flag is actually called a banner or a standard. And so when you lift up the standard of the Lord, which Jehovah Nisi is Jehovah, the Lord our banner. So our God has many different names and characteristics. And so those names and characteristics show a little bit of himself to us. So it was his idea. It wasn't Mrs. Kosti at Spirit of Excellence, which some of the kids would always say, oh, Miss Kosti does the flags. Well, it wasn't just me that discovered them. They'd been talked about and written about in the Holy Scriptures, the Bible, many, many years ago. From the very beginning, God ordained the flags and the banners. And he commanded us to lift them up, to twirl them, to make sparkly ones, to be conspicuous with them, and it would draw all people unto him. And so that was just a little bit of the word study in the book that I've written that talks all about the different names of our Jehovah, Yahweh, Shalom. And so we have different movements to express and to share all of those different names. So there's quite an art to it. Or you can just worship the God spontaneously by lifting up the flags. You don't have to be trained, and it's exciting to see that there's so much new discovery going on where, let me just check and see if he's trying to come on. Excuse me here, everybody. So let me just see, participants. Yeah, no, but I mean, he's going to be a co-host, so he should be coming on. The same link, he just has to join. Maybe I'll have this one by me too here for right now. He is? Is he a participant though? He has to come on to Zoom. No, he has to come on to Zoom, otherwise he can't talk. So I have a co-host backup plan here so that I don't pour a sweat and catch my breath. So yeah, he's got to do that again. And I'm sure then he'll just automatically show up. Right. Okay. The co-host that video. I have two videos on actually, unless this one's off. Nope, they're both on. So as I was saying, when I discovered the use of flags for enriching your life and experiencing the presence of God, that is what really just changed my whole life. It changed our whole life. My
sound is off.
No, that's all right. I just need to turn this off. Maybe this is dead. My wireless. No, it's working. Okay. Oops. Okay. I'm sure you can hear it. Yeah. It's just why it's not coming through. I'm getting an echo. So maybe. Let's see if I'm still. Yeah, still connected. So now you got me. Tell Gord it's my phone number. And he's just got to hit the drop menu to join meeting for the same one. Just give him my phone number. Okay. I'm going to mute this one so that I don't get feedback, which I'm getting feedback now that I changed my settings.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So let me
go to
go
my
to my
Facebook
Facebook and see if I can see any of you
are
are
here.
here.
We'll just have to do some swapping while we get the tech.
Well, yeah,
Well, yeah,
I'm what I'm doing.
what I'm doing.
Good.
Good. Hey, Yulia.
How are you
How are you doing?
Oh, Colleen, thank you. Took me a while
Hi.
to figure.
No problem.
No problem.
Can you hear
Can
me,
you
Gord?
hear Gord?
I do. I hear an echo as well.
Well, that's
Because then John said I wasn't
through.
coming through.
No.
And now,
I think you're coming through on Zoom and on Facebook or something.
That could be.
oh, that could be.
Maybe that's what it
Maybe
is.
that's what it is.
I'll turn them
I'll
off.
turn them off.
I should turn my Facebook off as well. Do you hear an echo of me?
Test.
Okay, test.
That's better.
You can't hear me
You
at
can't
all?
hear me at all?
Yes, I can hear you just fine
He can hear me.
He can hear me.
with an echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just
All right,
check
let me
this.
just check this. All right, I muted my main phone.
Unmute me.
Unmute me and let's mute this other one.
Oh,
Oh,
it's on the other
it's
camera.
on the other camera.
There we go.
There we go.
So it's this
So
one.
it's this one.
All right. There we go.
Better.
Okay. Very good. So we'll just use this camera here. All right. So I just did a song or two. And maybe somebody from Facebook can make a comment and let us know if you can hear, and John will let us know. But I can hear myself and I can hear Gord, I think. So Gord, I'm just like pouring sweat because I was like dancing. So I'll let you talk. I was just telling about my story on how I discovered flags. Okay, yes, it's working good. He just didn't have his phone turned up.
Right.
So I'm going to grab my other flags and kind of do it up here. I had a couple of different locations. So I'll be right back. So go ahead, Gord, if you want to share something.
Yes. Well, I've always been interested in creative movement. I have a drama background at the University of Windsor, and movement is such an incredible way to release emotion. And it's very interesting to find that a lot of people in movement program would get through emotional blocks, or would actually come up to those blocks and with specific movements actually start weeping because it was something either locked in their cells or something that needed to be released. And creative movement was incredible in helping people release their emotions and access their emotions as well.
Yes, that's so true. Because the first time I saw a flagged company of dancers, they were all in unison. They were very skilled with all of these movements now that I have become certified in. That unison and just the movement, and I don't know how to explain it, but I just wept and cried and bawled. And I felt so much better after that too. It wasn't a bad thing. It was a very positive healing release of my emotions, and just it brought me joy. And that's when I totally wanted to, after that point, I had to do it. I had to learn how to do flags. I had to learn, where can I get them from? How can I get the training? And that began our journey back in 1991. It was, and even a year or two before that, I've seen one dancer at a conference I was at in the US, use flags, and she gave me her flags. I begged her so much, and they were like one of my first pair, probably this pair right here of these poles, and they were just red flag with like a sash, kind of a turquoise and gold sequence on them. But it was the poles that I needed to find, you know, because we would try to make them out of wood and dowels and so many different methods, but it was hard to access. So she gave me her flag poles and her flags too, and the sash even, which was just so royal. It just gave me such value. So these, I'm going to show you how these flags come off. They're a little bit different than the quill flags, which everybody is worshiping spontaneous and experiencing freedom by using the new type of flags, which I was using a little bit earlier. So this is a tube, and you can see how the flag will come off, and you can change it quickly. These are Velcro, they'll even change, but if you buy more tubes, that's the way to do it. And they just attach on this twirling so they don't get caught. So this is what I love about the twirling poles, is that you can just buy lots of these tubes and design your flags and then change them at will. And it's a lot quicker and easier. Here's from some of my kids, a little bit smaller size. This is a very good practice size. And it's like a worship warrior combat style of the camouflage. And then these poles are with the rubber baton, the rubber ball, and then they're weighted, and they're stainless steel. They have a tip that goes on the end. I've had these since 1990. And well, that had to be before 91. I think it was like in the late 80s. So these last forever. And if you noticed, I did a couple of twirls where I threw up the flag and it totally twirls like this, and I caught it back the right way. It just falls into your hand the right way.
Those original flags are really from the military tradition, where they had to be able to show the troops what they were doing. And the flags were signals, and you had to be able to throw them up so everybody in your squadron could see what you were doing. So in the original days of flagging in church, those were problematic because they had to invent rubber tips. Because if you hit somebody with one of those,
yes, exactly.
Not in the spirit.
And these are really weighted too. So when you do use these, they move very fast. You notice how I could twirl them very, very fast around. And because they're weighted, the weight of the flag itself and the pole will force it to move faster.
Incredible momentum with those. But the thing is, using those, you have to be very, very skilled. Those
yes,
are
but it's amazing. I think I'm one of the only few. I know of. I'm sure there's some that are like don't know, and I'm unknown. But Margaret Yap has trained thousands and thousands of flag worshipers from Shaka Ministries. So that's where I was certified, and I learned all the scriptures and all the meanings of the movements. And they have flag troops all over the world. Our first experience going to a big flag dancers conference was at the New York downtown Manhattan with a St. Jacob's Center. It was like a big ballroom. There were 700 people, all flag dancing in unison, because we had learned these 4 levels of movements. So you don't have to be that skilled or that fabulous, really. And I think I'm one of the few, that's what I was going to say, I'm one of the few that have actually trained little children. The Lord gave me all these little children, whereas actually this is like a university age or college age sport, and they have international competitions called like cheer and color guard and all those kind of, spirit bands. But in ministry and in Christian worship, I was one of the first to teach all little children. And you know what? They all are fabulous. You've seen the videos, which actually John could post a link maybe to our YouTube channel, and you can look at all the playlists back. One time we brought our flag company of kids, 30 or 40 kids, and we went to this neighborhood of all like a, Meadowbrook neighborhood, if you're in Windsor. So it's kind of like, huge area of kids and international kids. and they had this event. So we had all of our flags out. I had like 60 flags or something, and every little child wanted to come, especially the boys, and they did flags. So that's our link on our YouTube channel, Spirit of Excellence. It's our username. And you will see how it was so easy to teach these kids. And then my kids, these young, like Ashley and, you know, so many of the young preteens that we had, and Alyssa, and they were teaching them all the movements. So they learned a whole dance choreography, and we were able to make that connection and reach them with the love of God and, you know, follow up with them. So it's a great tool of outreach, and you don't have to be that skilled, but it does take some practice. Now, let me show you the other kind of flags that are really become popular now, and because they're easy to use, they're not dangerous. And this is the big movement is quill flags. So I was dancing with one of the white ones, which is ready to paint for somebody. So they end up turning out very beautiful, like watercolors patterns. But then this is my royalty one, which is gold silk and purple organza. All right, so these are much bigger usually, and they are much easier to use because they don't have the weight in there.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon?
And it's a nice flexible rod as well.
Yes, so if you hit somebody, it'll just bend, and it will actually bend to this much of a U shape, and then you could store them and travel with it in a tote bag. You just take your flag and wrap it around, and it will keep them handy. Just tuck it one end in, and then it will fit in your dance bag or tote bag, or if you're traveling, your luggage very easily. Okay. So this is the latest rage, which I love, and it's wonderful to see so many ministries, so many people, men and women, dancing now and being free and experiencing that freedom of emotions, healing, and then they become not so self-conscious and not so bottled up, and they can be free to experience God and to receive from Him and from the Holy Spirit will then bring them healing, because they're sitting there like this in the church service, like, or like that.
Yeah.
You know, they have to stand up. They start to forget about themselves and forget about everybody else. And then they receive from God. When you can move freely, it's a beautiful experience, and it's very uplifting to everybody.
Well, we're made to move. We are made to move.
Yes, we are. And during this time of being social distancing and keeping yourself from, you know, people, is a hard time for people because they're motivated by others. Most of us are. Some of us like to be alone. I mean, I like to be alone in my time. I've enjoyed having this downtime and being able to do more things that I can think on, not being so, you know, so many agendas going continuously and activities. But this is a good time. People are turning to prayer. They're turning to thinking and journaling and spending that time in themselves and with their families. And so, yeah, to reflect on what's really important. So that's when something like this, flags or even prayer shawls and mantles, and can be a good time, because it will help you to have that symbolism to focus, and it helps you to enter into that time and not be distracted, because it keeps your focus on the beauty of the garment or the beauty of the flag or the prayer shawl, which actually can cover over your head and keep you from being distracted. And then you can wear it even, and it's a beautiful symbolism that brings you back to reflect and to spend time during this. Any questions out there from anybody? Anybody still watching? Sorry for any technicalities. Who? 6
It's a
people?
lot to get everything moving and to get all the Zoom and Facebook linked up. It's quite a feat. You've done well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I like using technology because it's free. I didn't have to buy anything, and so I'm thankful for Zoom. I do pay to use that for my online courses monthly, which we have all of our programs online. We have the flags online. We can do live interaction with them, but we have the course materials all there. We have a flag manual there then, so that you can study and practice on the videos, you know, and yet it's nice to have that personal relationship. So I like to do my online courses, but I like to use Zoom or any meeting I used to use to make that personal connection, because that's what it's all about, is building relationships. And I wanted to connect with women and men and women with the Spirit of Excellence whole ministry in the arts and music, but with the beauty school, we could connect with them live like this, and also with all the course material is online. So it's a good tool. So I use the Zoom, but using the Zoom and multi-cameras helps you to have better view. You can talk and you can show things. And then we had to use it from PC to be able to live stream to YouTube or to Facebook. So that's why we had to go on earlier. Yes. Any questions out there? Did you want to share anything else or what you noticed? I know I sent you a flag manual. Gord is, let me just introduce him again in case you just tuned in. He's a board of directors, member of a board of the Spirit of Excellence Board of Directors, and he's a longtime musician and friend of John's, my husband, John Kosti. They were in their first band together, and maybe you can share that. I love sharing that as a nostalgic.
That old picture?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I love that picture. That's like one of my favorite.
Jeans.
Hmm?
Me and my acid wash jeans.
Oh, yeah. Too cool.
Acid wash. Pleated jeans, yes.
Pleated jeans even. Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Got those
Yeah.
bad boys from Montreal.
Wow. Yeah, so that's who Gord is, and he comes from Hamilton. It was Windsor, Oakville. He's in Hamilton now. And so we're blessed to be able to have him come to Windsor and help us do our outreach events and just to paint together or do creative projects and photography. We're going to redo my videos and upgrade them. So this is the man. Some of my students said, yeah, you can update your videos. Yeah, well, it takes a lot of technology to set it all up. So we're thankful for him being a part of Spirit of Excellence. And we have another board of directors. She's in Paisley, Ontario. And her daughter, actually, she's been connected to Spirit of Excellence since like 2001. And her daughter took flags and moved away and then started doing flags in that area up north. And then now is in Ottawa area and married and had her first baby. And so it's such a testimony and encouragement to me to hear that she wants to start doing flags again. So our mission is to raise up people that will be active, be doing the creative movement and arts and flags, because it's so uplifting and it's a good way to communicate the good news of the gospel. Have a song? Do another song, John says. Which flag do you want me to use? Maybe I'll use the quill flags now. Is Jacqueline, my new friend from New Brunswick, on? No? Just ask. Well, Jacqueline, if you are, just let me know if you have any. I'll do a song. Hey. Hi, Susan. Okay. Let me know, Gord or John, if this doesn't sound good or whatnot. Maybe I'll change the screen to just one, and I'll try it with the sound box. Okay. And then when I get tired out, I'll let you do some talking. Let's see, which song? Lord of the Dance. Oh, maybe this one. Yeah, I got it on. Okay. Testify to Love. This song is not our rights, but hopefully it will still play. by Judd. Wynnona Judd. So John, post that we do not have copyrights. The song is credited to Wynnona Judd, Testify to Love. Can you hear it?
Every star in every sky, every corner of creation, little testify. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. Be a witness of my side, every word and all my words. Every breath I take, will confess God. For as long as I shall live, I will testify the Lord. From the mountains to the valley, river to every hand that reaches out, every hand that reaches out to offer peace, every simple act of service, every step in down, all of us in every heart, for as long as I shall live, I will testify the Lord. I'll be a witness in the silence, every word and all the with every breath I take, I will give thanks to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify the Lord. For as long as I shall live, I will testify the Lord. Be a witness in the silence, every word and all the with every breath I take, I will give thanks to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify.
There.
That's
Okay.
lovely.
Whew.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Well, a little bit. I'm kind of like out of shape, you know? That's very nice. Yes, so the quill flags work very beautifully, but you still need to know how to wave them. You know, you need to have your arm stretched. Having them too close to your body, they kind of get tangled up. But, you know, it'll work. Anything works. Just keeping them moving is beautiful and exhilarating. Yes.
That's lovely. Well,
So,
one of the things that's been really important to me and why I believe so much in your and John's ministry is I see people coming into fullness. And you have a special emphasis on young girls at risk, because if they don't know who they are and they don't have confidence in who they are so vulnerable and susceptible to all kinds of things out there that would be glad to take advantage of them, from situations and people and all kinds of things. And you find so many women get through 10 years of wreckage, and then they finally come out and they're like, oh, you know, they stop and they take stock of their lives, and then they start to work on who they are, and they start to gain a confidence. So your ministry works to get in front of that train wreck, to, you know, to capture these girls when they're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And to teach them how to honor themselves, to teach them that God loves them and has a wonderful plan for their lives, to teach them that their body is holy and their body is special, and to honor it. And other people need to honor it as well. And this is like your ministry, I'm sure, has prevented so much just wreckage in people's lives, especially girls who are so vulnerable. You know, girls who are taught at a very early age to please other people. You please other people. You say yes. You don't get to say no. And you help people learn to say no in a way, because when something conflicts with that honor they have for themselves, they'll recognize that, and hopefully they'll say no. And that's so important. It's important for boys and men too, but especially girls, because they're taught so much just to please other people. So that's why I'm part of this ministry, because I believe in what you do, and I see the difference when I'm down there in the lives that you are facilitating, and of course for people to know the love of God for themselves too, and that's of course paramount.
Yes, yes. And I'm excited because we're seeing more people are turning to personal worship of God and ways of demonstrating it. So in 1 week, I think I've had 3 people contact me about getting flags or getting the rods. Even if you just need rods, we'll sell you the rods and you can make your own flags, because it's fun. It's a fun group activity to do. But we need women and men that will be leaders and will teach and educate people to the value of it, because it's not just, it's more than what you see, right? Like what you just shared, Gord. It's very emotionally healing. It's very uplifting. It's a fun thing. I mean, just fun things are good for people to do that actually have a meaning and a spiritual purpose to them. And so we're seeing more and more people are saying, hey, we want to know more. We want to start a flag company. We want to have gather, their friends or these girls. And boys are really, really great at the flag twirling batons. They are amazing because they can do sword throws and belt kicks and, all of those movements that are kind of like martial arts and, like you said, military movements, but they have meaning, and then you can express it to music. And I mean, our flag company, Spirit of Excellence Flag Company, performed at over 280 events in a few years, and they were all community events, but maybe 3 churches. So, you can take it out to the streets, and to when we're able to do that again soon. Jacqueline in beautiful island, Grand Manan Island of New Brunswick, is excited to hear that, because she already had that in her heart to go out to the neighborhoods, go out to some picnics and events, public events, and do the flags, do songs. So it's exciting to see more people are doing that. So if you have that in your heart to do, contact us, contact me, and we'll help you. We'll help you with the materials, with the flag poles, and to learn what to do. And the great thing is we can come together with people that we have never even met. And we did that once with people up in Barrie, in Aurelia. We came together with a dance team of, I think they had 12 or 13 girls back in 2008. And I did the choreography, I taped it, they learned it, they practiced it. They had a wonderful leader. She is a good lady that helped them practice. And then we came together and did the performance at the Rogers Center. It was a big heavens rehearsal. It was a big, beautiful event. So, when you learn the rudiments, and it's like playing the piano. You learn music, you can do music with anybody. You can get together and learn very quickly. So when you learn the flag movements, you can then, learn what to do and put them together, and you already know the basics. So it makes it really great. And I want to see more of that. I want to see more outreach areas where the kids have nothing to do. Maybe they have a basketball court, maybe they have a community center. We had to buy like 24 batteries to bring in our boom box and carry out, because they didn't have power at Meadowbrook Center. And they did have, though, a baseball diamond or a basketball court. So that's what we used. And we had all those batteries on that big, huge ghetto box, we used to call it, right? You take it to the center of the neighborhood. And we put on the music, and we had lots of flags. And everybody came out. I mean, there was like 100 kids in 5 minutes. So we want to keep doing that. So if you want to help support to the ministry so that we can do more outreach and have the provision for these kids and go to the areas where they really need it. So that's what we do. That's what we like to do. And then we can raise up, we can reach them with the good news of the gospel. And then we can raise up leaders or have our company leaders continue to train up those kids. So that's the vision. It hasn't died. It's kind of died, you know, and you get discouraged. But now it's like people are having it burst in their hearts. And the Lord will bring people that really need to be uplifted and want to be a part of something that changes their life. And so that's what happens. Your life gets changed.
Can you also just mention the fact that you're a charity and
Yes.
how long you've been a registered charity?
Yes, well, we formed as a non-for-profit seminary of learning in 2003, June. And then a few years later, we became an official registered charity, Canada Revenue Approved, and they named us as a philanthropic seminary of learning. You love that? So we can have a Bible school officially. That hasn't really taken off too much yet. We've trained some people in biblical creative arts programs. We have all the material. And we can have the beauty school division. We have the Worship Arts Institute, which is the seminary. And then we have the Queen Esther, the Quest School, which is the teenage personal grooming and finishing skills, how to dress. We also do personal image for men and women. I've stylized people all over the world, a handful, artists and Christian recording artists on what to wear for their body type and to have a good, you know, personal, professional image. And so, yeah, that's the three main divisions, all umbrellaed by the ministry of role modeling the spirit of excellence, AKA Spirit of Excellence. SOE, yeah. So we are a registered charity. You can get tax receipts. You can do goods and kinds, donations of things, cars, van would be really great. So we can actually pick up and take all of our equipment and you know, follow up and help these kids that are in some remote areas in our city too. And because a lot of people don't have funding, so we have to fund it. You know, you have to have some snacks. I do a healthy meal program with table manners, good conversation skills, and then we teach them personal, you know, life skills and leadership skills, and then we do flags and fitness. Yeah. So you want one more song? You want one more song?
That's important to know, the whole charity status.
Yes, yes, it is, because that's quite an accomplishment. We are thankful for that. We've been here 5 years in this new location. Can you come grab my flags? They're all falling now. And then we've been 10 years, over a decade on July Road. Now we're just up from July Road at Riverside Drive on Cadillac. Maybe I'll just do one flag. Yeah, I'll just do one flag then because it's off. And so our training center was there from 2005 to 2015 or 16. We moved out and we came to the water's edge here. Beautiful. We love it here. We're thankful for this building and that they allow us to do all that we do here. And we're in the back, the rectory of it. But this is the main wedding event center now. The church was closed in 2007. It was Our Lady of the Rosary Church until 2007. So it's a beautiful historical building. So we claim this as it is a beautiful event place to have conferences, weddings, showers, and also a place that brings life and through our arts and creativity. So we're in the perfect place now. We have much more space and it's nicer space. So yeah, you can check the website, spiritofexcellence.ca, and you'll see pictures of it. Okay, let me see what song. If you want to say anything, Gord, go ahead.
No, I want to see your next song.
I haven't practiced choreography in a while. Oh my goodness. I'm just looking at them going, oh, wow, yeah, I need to practice those. Here's Dancing in the River. This is a really fun one. I won't do the whole song though, okay? Like, John, you're gonna come and turn this off. I am already. We used to use this one for our warm-up. My toe is sore. Okay, let's see here. I really should use two. We used to like go across the room. I don't know if anybody's watching from Spirit of Excellence Day. We would like march across to get our rhythm going. Actually, I'll show you. Okay. Then we would do another movement. This is a river circle with a gallop. And then we would do freestyle. Then we go side by side. So just lifting the flag, different positions is very moving. You better put rights to this one too. It's Delirious. Dance in the river. Okay, I gotta do one. Yes. Woo! There. We did it. Okay.
Colleen, you make it look pretty easy, but I know the hand switches and that's you
it's
have a lot.
Easy once you know how.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you so much for Gord and John.
I was going to show you something, Colleen.
Yeah,
I was going to talk about how you got me into flags.
Oh, okay. I'd love to hear.
Another minute. So what happened was I've been involved with this ministry for a long time, but I was never involved with the flag side. And I found myself very inhibited. And I started feeling that maybe this was something I needed some freedom in. So,
Yeah.
and of course, in talking to Colleen, she was very encouraging about it. And she said, well, why don't you come up with a design and we'll create it for you. So I prayed about it and I took a picture here and I thought, well, I want them to look like wings and I want them to look like wings. And I had colors that I had chosen for it. And here's the sketch I did in, I don't know, some kind of drawing program. This is the
Right.
sketch of
Yes.
what I wanted my flags to look like. I wanted
I
a
remember.
purpley pink and a blue and a green and some white space in there. So I came down to Windsor and Colleen helped me make them. So this is, you're not going to be able to see. I'll push this back a little bit. So this is how they turned out.
Yeah.
They are
Fabulous.
absolutely beautiful. And they're on padded rods because I didn't know what I was doing. And in case I hit somebody, I didn't want to take them out. So this is what we came up with based on my design. So it's still challenging for me to use them. It's I bring them to church and sometimes I don't use them. And one of my friends actually did kick me in the behind. She actually did. She said, why do you have them here if you're not going to use them? And she kicked me in the behind at church. Can you believe it?
Exactly.
But it was good. But it's kind of, what it took to get me over myself. So not only do I use these in flagging, but also I'm on the prayer team and I've used these in prayer over people where we talk about God's presence and God's glory. So what happens sometimes, we'll be praying for somebody and I'll put these behind the person and I'll like cocoon them in just as a reminiscent of God's presence and God's covering over them. So these flags are incredibly expressive and useful in many ways of worship and intercession.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it myself, but I'm
great.
I'm enjoying the process, and I know that as I get more free emotionally, I'm going to get more free with flags. And so, Colleen, I do thank you for that because I'm a recipient of your ministry in that.
And it was a fun time. It was very moving. I tried not to interfere much, but we put on a song that you, I think, chose, something that was moving to you.
Yeah.
And our whole experience of creating, I have a healing art studio here and a sewing studio. So we could cut and sew them and adjust them exactly the shape that you wanted. Then we went over into the healing art studio, which has my Bible and my tambourines and flute and harp. And, it's kind of small. It's got some artistry on the walls and fabric. And that's where we painted and put on music. And it was a real meaningful time. I could feel the presence of God. And then
it was a holy time. I mean, I don't want to be shy from calling that. It was really a holy time.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So then we let them dry and then, finish the process. And the next day, because we do have a guest quarter here. So, it needs a little bit of work, but we have a guest suite. So Gord is able to stay here and we could have workshop guests that come. And then the next day we went out into the beautiful ivy courtyard that's here, that the priest used to pray in. It's surrounded by our wall of the rectory, and then an ivy, all of the walls are outside the building have ivy, and the church wall. And so that courtyard was beautiful to be able to do the flags the next day in. So yeah, I remember that. I found some of those little videos. So now that you mentioned it again, I think
Please don't post them. I was on video ready.
What? I'll use my special effects on Magistro.
Oh, good. Okay. Use them all.
Yeah. And they'll look great though. It can be inspirational to somebody, and just kind of be that kick them in the butt to get and do something that's going to be liberating to them.
That's what, well, as we get more free, we invite other people into that freedom.
Yeah.
And it really does
Exactly.
have a tremendous effect, especially for men, right? For them to be able to physically express themselves, because a lot of us are really inhibited and we're not, in a way, comfortable in our own bodies. You know, we do our work and we, you know, maybe play sports or work out, but there isn't like a freedom or an art that we've been allowed to express in our bodies, because most people have been laughed at some point. And there's so much shame and inhibition.
Yes.
So it needs to
And
be-
even
it needs to be
unless
broken.
you're a musician, and then even if you are a musician, they only have so many on at the service times, right?
Right.
Once or twice a week, and then they rotate. So you don't even get to use your gift as much as you would like. So
Right.
that's been an important thing on John's heart, is to gather together more musicians to do not like a playlist, but make spontaneous music that expresses what's going on in their life, or expresses the heart of God, what God's message is to them. And so he does those worship jams or prayer jams. And so you can check out the website, and he's got his own channel on YouTube. It's JK Rhythm of Grace. If you're a musician or a man or a creative artist, we usually do those once or twice a week. And our space here is smaller, and like in the studio next door. But so it's more like a prayerful kind of acoustic style, but it's very meaningful. And then as things grow again, we could use more space and be able to do it here or on Mondays. We use the white room, and even the grand ballroom is beautiful upstairs. It has perfect acoustics. Water's Edge is the best building ever. So yeah, if you're a musician or if you need liberty, a place to be creative, this is it. And we're only a stone's throw from Detroit. We're at Windsor, Ontario.
And in relation to what you do, on right now is my friend Monica DiFrancesco, and she works in fragrance, and she connects people to the heart of God through fragrance and creative movement. And she just came out with a book that talks about her coming out of brokenness and into liberty and freedom, and using art and color and fragrance and fabrics to help inform and support her and encourage her along the way.
Yes, it's beautiful. That's wonderful. Yes, I'll have to get her book.
That's
really great.
Monica, if you're willing, you could put a link. You could put a link to your book.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't have it. I just don't have it at hand right here. But it's beautiful, and I've been in her life for 4 years now, and seeing part of this journey unfold as she's been very transparent with it, and it's a very, very cool thing to see what's happening.
Wonderful. Yes, Spirit of Excellence, we're a good networking. We network people from all over the world and different remote places and locally that have the same vision, the same heart, that want to glorify God, want people to come into fullness of their life and their personal journey and use their talents. So that's awesome. We're glad to be a support and to find more people. So if anything's moved you, just be sure, please, to put a comment or PM me direct, and we'll be in touch again. And next Monday, we're going to do something again, I think. So we'll have it a little bit better experienced, so we won't take so long. But thank you so much for joining us, everybody that's watched and who will watch the replay. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you, Gord. God bless you.
Thank you. Bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.